To the heart that's broken, I know a man. His name is, come on.
Abby,
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm fine, fine girl. You foretell me, and I would have made my face, and I didn't know it was, this kind of setup. You
But
should have
I've been
told
telling you
me.
that it's a been a TV show.
Oh my gosh.
How
Oh,
are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. Thank you
It's so
so
good
much.
to see you, man.
Oh, thank you. It's been a while. Long
I
time.
know. Long time, my dear, my dear, my dear,
My
my
dear.
dear. Whoa, listen, man. I do not want to waste one single second
Okay.
because I know you're a great conversationalist, and I'm just going to introduce you. Sit back, start eating popcorn. All right, so this is Boukie's Place. Welcome to Boukie's Place. We don't talk about the wins or the awards or the accolades. We talk about the grit and the grind. We talk about the necessary things that people need in this season. Imagine a banker that's been a banker for 20 years. He's just stripped of that. And now he has to start from scratch. So we bring their favorite people to talk about their own experiences so that they know that they have no excuses. So I want you to share with us your story from the beginning. Whatever you want to share with us. Start from when I should have from, and then we'll take it. We'll flow with your tide. However you go, we go. All right. So welcome to Boukie's Place.
Thank you. Okay, so I was born in Edo State in Benin. My parents were Christians and they were bankers, funny enough.
Wow.
I went to school in Benin, then we moved to Delta State in Asaba, went and
Mhm.
finished my secondary school, moved to Lagos with my whole family wanting me to study law. They forced me into doing a diploma in business and industrial law. I
Mhm.
did that and then I said, no, this is not for me. I'm a creative person. So I left on my own, went to Uniben to start theater arts. I
Wow.
couldn't survive there. I couldn't cope. So I came back to Unilag and studied theater arts and creative arts in Unilag. And I graduated. But before I graduated, I got married, had my first child when I was 21, had my
Wow.
second child when I was 24. I was still in school when I had both kids. And then,
Wow.
yep,
Wow.
then in the midst of that, I started a career in the movies. I started out as a studio singer, in Kling Studio, working for Kings Ogoro and the rest. And then I would sneak out, and on a Friday night, I would go and sing in Jazzville, then in Yaba. So I was
Mhm.
singing, I was a studio rat at that time until by accident I walked into an audition set with a friend of mine, and someone saw me there and said, oh yeah, come and read. I didn't know anything about professional acting, but I went in there because I was used to the stage, to the theater. But I got in there, I read, and 3 weeks later they came to the studio where I worked and offered me the first job. I made money, the kind of money I made. I think they paid me 10,000 naira at that time. And then my salary was 700 naira a month. So, I mean, come on. I quickly dumped studio work. I said, this is the one. And I started going from audition to audition and started growing from there. And I lost my husband. My husband passed when I was 26. And I had my two kids. My first daughter was 5. My second was 2 at the time. And we had a band together as well, so he was a great guy. And then I lost him. My life turned upside down. I thought that was it for me. And if people understand widowhood practices in Africa and Nigeria, they don't understand the things that happen behind closed doors that the media doesn't write about and people don't see. I went through all of that. And in the process of trying to get my life back, the pressure from society to, oh, Stella, you can't be single, you are still young, you are this, you are that. And I met a guy who was a friend of mine who should have remained my friend, but out of desperation, he proposed to me and I said yes without thinking. And of course, it didn't work because we're not meant to be married. 8 months later, that one scattered. And I thought I was done. And I was really done until I met this great guy who became my friend. And then he had his own issues to deal with. He had his divorce. I was already single. And we came together, started out as friends, started out working together. And I realized that he started bringing me back into church because I had turned my back on God, turned my back on church, because I felt that the issues I was facing at that time was coming really from the church. And I was done. I was done with the hypocrisy, with all the politics. And I'm like, God, just leave me, let me be on my own. And then I went on a roller coaster of, oh, I'm going to flex here, I'm clubbing here, I'm going out here. And I was just living this life of, I can't be lonely, I can't be indoors, I have to be out there, I have to be wild, you know. But I just realized that I was hurting. There was something missing. And then I meet this guy who doesn't drink, who doesn't womanize, who doesn't club, who doesn't do anything, but I'm very close to him for some reason. And out of respect for him, we would go out and he would order orange juice and Coke. I mean, I'm looking at myself like, this is embarrassing for me to be doing alcohol when the guy I'm going out with is actually a cool, correct guy, you know? So I started pulling back from all the craziness. I stopped going out. I stopped being all, you know. And then he was like, you know what, we've both been through crap. Let's just keep praying together. Let's see what God would do. And we continued to pray together. We were close and all that. I met his family. And one thing led to another. We just decided to get married just so that we're not tempted to, because it was hard. Man body is not firewood,
It's not
you
the
know.
violence.
You see it? So, and we were going to church at that time, and he was like a prominent person. He's always been a church boy, and they were warning us during our year, don't do, don't do. I mean, I'm like, ha ha ha. This world I'm coming from, and you're telling me don't do. All right, all right. So it was tough for like 6 months to a year, nothing. And but we knew that it wasn't just because of the do. We knew that we had to take time to get to know ourselves and agree that, okay, if we're entering this one again, this has to be last bus stop. We agreed. We agreed. We talked to the children, and they were like, they love him. They want him to be in their lives. We went ahead. We got married. After a while, we looked at our lives. We looked at our children. We wanted more for them. We wanted more for ourselves. We wanted things, an environment where they're empowered to speak their minds, are empowered to do what they want to do, be who they want to be, without all the restrictions here and there, you know. And my husband and I said, you know what, let's move. Let's move. Let's see what it would be like on the other side. And we moved to America in 2013, and we've been here since then. Still hustling by
Hustling.
God's grace. Pretty much
Wow.
sums up my life. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know you said it in like 5 minutes,
Yep.
but I
It's
mean,
a
I've known
lot.
you for, let me tell you, the first time I met you, we were at Girls' Night Out.
Oh my God. Yeah.
What's the name of that place?
It was somewhere in Ikeja, right?
Wonderland or something like that.
It, it was
You
it was
know,
an event place,
yeah,
resort
an
place.
event
Yeah.
place. Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, man, your story is empowering. And
Thank
if
you.
I were to count on my finger, five strongest women I know, you're on that finger.
Oh, thank you.
No, for real. And I'm not just
Thank you.
saying that, because I've seen you cry, I've seen you stand, I've seen you do and become.
Mm.
I want you to share with us an experience you had while you were transitioning. We're going to get into your transition. I know you said you started acting. Oh, if Stella wasn't crying on your screen, you are not watching Hollywood movie. The cry was so beautiful that it was just, perfect. So I want you to share with us an experience while you were transitioning into acting that, a door shut in your face and you second guessed yourself and you said, you know what? This is not for me.
In acting, right? I remember a particular story where I went for an audition, and I went into the room and I came out, and one of the casting directors saw me outside and called me and said, come to my office at 8 p.m. I want to ensure that you get this role. And I said, I don't understand what you mean. Why am I coming to your office at 8 p.m. when this is where we're doing the audition? And he says, you haven't gone through baptism of fire. If you don't go through baptism of fire, you will fail in this industry. And I will make sure of it. because everybody has to bow down to me. They know that I'm the one that makes things happen. So I looked at this guy, I looked at myself, and I said to myself, what the hell am I doing with someone like this? Because of what? Acting. To hell, man. I'll go back to my studio. It hurt me because I had left everything that I was familiar with. You know, when I moved to Lagos, I left the studio, I left singing, I left everything. I wasn't practicing, I wasn't working with any band. I was just focused on, oh, I'm an actor now. And then someone is telling me that to pursue this dream, I had to give up my dignity to pursue this dream. And I said to myself, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. And Bouquet, this has happened like several times in the course of my journey in the industry. It's not just once. But at that time, I was 16. And at that time, I was alone because my dad was very strict with, you must be a lawyer or you must be a doctor or something. And my family didn't speak to me for about 3 years because I made that decision to leave what I was doing to face the entertainment industry. Because as at that time, it for women in the industry, it seemed like, oh, you are wayward, you are a dropout, you know, women in the industry are just loose and everything. And my father said, no, I don't want that, because I come from a very conservative family, you know. And then I didn't have anywhere to turn to because I had moved out of my sister's house. I was squatting in someone's BQ. I finished my business and industrial law course in Lagos. I had gone to Uniben at Comba. I was not I didn't know what to do, where to turn to, who to talk to. And I was crying every day, walking from one production house to the other. And it seemed as if it was an unspoken thing that everybody knew that I hadn't gone through the baptism of fire, because when I would bring it up, even the men and the women would look at me and like, what's this one saying? I beg, you're not ready. I'm like, really? I must be that dumb, you know? And so I lost myself. I was confused. I wasn't in school. I wasn't with my family. I wasn't pursuing my dream in acting. I had lost my job in the studio. I was just there, crying, looking at myself every day and just wondering. Then I wasn't really born again. So it's not like, oh, I had God to cry to anything. So I was a mess. And I started selling puppies to survive.
Like puppies.
Puppies! I was selling puppies. So we would leave Akoka, where I was squatting, and we would go to Surulere and go from house to house carrying 2 puppies. A friend of mine and I will carry 2 puppies and we'll go and be showing people from house to house who will buy puppy. Because without selling the puppies, I would not eat. And I was too stubborn. I said, Kai, I will not eat my words and go back and be begging my sister to say, I want to stay in your house. Okay, I'm not doing acting again. I'm doing law. So I was lost until someone saw me one day and called me. Right now, I don't even know who she is, where she is. I don't know. She just called me into her house. She gave me food and she asked me to just tell her my story, and I did. And she said, is that it? I said, yes. She said, okay, don't worry. So she took me by the hand and took me to someone's production office. I think his name was Chelsea Fediba or something. And he says, you see this girl? Audition her in my presence. Test her, I know you want to make a film. I don't know where this woman came from or how she just picked me because I took puppies to their compound. She took me to this guy's office and said the guy should audition me. And I auditioned. And the guy gave me a lead role. And I'm like, so it is possible to, you know, overcome all of this and actually meet people that are good and will help you through the journey. And I did the role. And after that particular role, I stopped auditioning because I was now receiving messages, come, I have a role, come, I have a role. That was the job that I did that I stopped auditioning totally. So those were dark times.
You did not go through the baptism of fire.
I refuse.
And you know what? Talking about that, there is something going on right now in the industry. I've seen a couple of, videos about men, that producers that like Me Too movement in Nigeria. What are you as a veteran doing to ensure that, you lend your voice to that?
I've been doing, Bouquis, and people knew me to be talk, and they even labeled me, I was talking to someone, I think she's here right now. I was talking to NK Obiako. She interviewed me, I think, last week. And I was telling her that it is our fault. We created an enabling environment. Like I told you, it was an unspoken thing at that time. It was as if the men were comfortable with it, they were okay with it. But the painful part is that the women were even more comfortable with it because they knew what was going on and they didn't say anything because they were afraid of being blacklisted. A lot of people who we call veterans and celebrities today, who are females, actually became and rose to where they are today because they had to submit themselves over and over again. And for someone like me who was stubborn, I wasn't rejecting them because I was super spiritual or born again, I was too good. I was just too proud. That was my flaw. I was too proud to look at somebody and say, because of him, I should come and I better get out. That's how I was. So I mean, I would say to them, I would complain, I would report. It was falling on deaf ears. And what did I get? Public enemy number one. They blacklisted me. I didn't work for about 3 to 4 years. People that I was even fighting for. Some of my colleagues would go behind me and take all the jobs that they had called me for, that I'd read for, I'd received script for. So it was like the industry knew. It was just like what happened in Hollywood. People knew. Whoopi Goldberg said it. People knew what was going on. The younger ladies were complaining, but the older ones who had experienced it, who had seen it, just moved on. I beg, go, not be my own. No. Now your problem. I can't come and join you in this one before they add my name to your name and say they won't give me work. Please, oh, I have to do my work. So everybody acted like, well, it has happened to me. My own has passed. Now I'm where I am. Nobody can come and, And I said, the more we do this, the stronger the perpetrators will become, the stronger the predators will become. And that's exactly what's happening today. So some people have been saying, Stella, you're not carrying this matter on your head as you would. I said, I don't carry matter for my head for how many years, but it's time for other people to realize that this is what we've been talking about. Now you stand up. My job right now, I pray endlessly every day for everyone. I do the bit that I can to raise new actors on my platform and Actors Playhouse, and especially the ladies. I tell them what to do. Some even as of yesterday sent me voice note of somebody that wants to do a film in Port Harcourt, and the guy is saying, you come and do seduction scene for me. I'm like, that's the raining one now. Come and rehearse seduction in my hotel room. And I'm like, these people are scam. Don't even think about it. So I'm doing the bit that I can. When I was back home in Nigeria, I carried the matter on my head, but it was as if my mouth was smelling. So I said, when it now gets to the point where you can't take it anymore, my prayer is that people will rise up. And thankfully, people are rising up to the occasion. So thank God, yeah.
Wow. I remember that you're so passionate about stuff. I remember I called you one day, maybe like 10 years ago. I said, Stella, what is your videos? Hey, don't be doing it. You said, Bouquis, if I don't do it, I'll say, okay. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do. I remember it because after that, I said to my sister, somebody is worried for me. She's afraid for me. I know. But I have to keep going. One day, Bouquis will understand me. One day.
I was like, I'll just see it and be like, listen. I'm like, hey, Stella. I think it was about one government official or something. Stella. But what you're talking about is a really deep issue that has affected. I mean, this rape movement is now big now. So what is your take on rape, the raped and the rapist? I was gonna say the raper and then the rapper. I'm like, nah, okay.
No.
Because you see, it is something that can affect. It's 5 minutes, like we see on Instagram, all those posts, but it can affect somebody for the rest of their life. I spoke to one rape victim. She said she's going to come on this show. If you're watching, man, she said she's going to come and say she's a rape victim and how that affected her entire life, So I want you to just shed some light, your thought and your angle on it.
A couple of years ago, about 12 to 14 years ago, I was working with an organization called Project Alert. And they handle domestic violence, rape cases. They have shelter for the women, for the children and all that. And that opened my eyes to a lot of things that were happening in Nigeria. So what we do is every Friday we open the doors and women will come in and tell us their story and everything. And then we decide, okay, you can be sheltered here, your children can be going to school here and things like that. And it was the society. People around were the ones that were threatening staff and the woman who was running Project Alert, because they were angry at the fact that we were opening some cans that they didn't want us to open, because the perpetrators were people that were just random guys who just felt, you know what, we can do these things and we can get away with it. The scariest part of this whole rape issue is the society creating this stigma around rape victims. Is the society vilifying people and victimizing people who are already victims? Is the society looking at someone like a Busola Dakolo who will come out and tell you her story and people will come at her? As
Holes,
opposed
yes.
to, and when you look at the people that are really victimizing her, these people are, most of them are women, then they will come at somebody like that and other people will be scared, like, I beg, I don't want them to carry my name like that, or me, I'm a married woman, I have in-laws, I can't even deal with this. I've dealt with so many people who've come to me. In fact, there's a girl that's writing one of the columns in my magazine. She's starting with her own story of rape and how it was her own family that, you know, made sure that she didn't talk, she didn't come out, because you want them to label you. So if we stop this stigma, if we stop fighting the people who are victims, if we make them feel safe, that it's okay to come out and report these things, first of all, you will see the percentage of the people who are dealing with it and suffering on their own. Then we'll know what we are dealing. Because right now, people are going on the streets and carrying placards. They don't know the half of what's going on, because half the people that you might be sure that somebody is carrying placard and fighting, you don't know, say your own picking, they suffer for your back, because that child is too afraid to speak, because society will look at it and say, oh, what were you wearing? Where did you go to his house? Why did you do this? That's the kind of society we live in. Secondly, there are laws, but the enforcement of the law, our police people are not trained or raised to look at rape victims. Our hospitals are not trained to do rape kits and everything, to test, to have proof, to go to court. Who do you want to report to? The same policeman that will do the same thing? Is it the same lawyer that will do or the same judge that has done the same thing? Who do you want to carry? Is it the same senators that are fighting on Al Jazeera for marrying 13-year-old girls? Where do we want to start? Because this is street something. America can do it and they will listen because it's a different society. But when it comes to Nigeria, it starts from the top to the bottom. But I always say, whilst we're blaming government, let's remember that the government, the police, all of these people, they are a representation of us because they are human beings like us and they came from our society. Our society has been created in such a way that when you're raising girls, it's different from the way you're raising boys. You know, so when the boys do whatever they want to do, they can do no wrong. But for the girl, when something happens, when rape happens, before you attack the man, the first thing is, why you wear this kind of thing, go man house? Why you get boyfriend? Why did you go to that church to read at night? Why were you crossing the road wearing this kind of skirt? That is before you even look at the guy to say, how dare you do this? You know, we've seen cases where they're raping 6-year-olds. And I ask myself, should be the 6-year-old wear hot pants and half top? Abby, that's what attracted you to a 6-year-old. But the question you ask yourself is, what happens to these predators? What did the law do to them? What did the police do to them? Are they still walking free? Because I saw a video of a guy that was telling his friends how they brought a 12-year-old girl to him and he took her to the back of his shop and he did what he did. That was sweet, oh. So the person that was recording was like, come, then go arrest you. He said, I beg, who go arrest me? Of everything the guy said, that's the one that killed me the most. Who go arrest me? And the truth is, who won't arrest them? That's the thing. So until we as a society begin to look at ourselves and begin to understand that the problem is us, make we look ourselves for face. How many times have we heard of something happening that we go and say, we must bring this up, we must report it, we must do this? No, everybody's in their house minding their business. And we are so used to saying, hey, yeah, what a pity. That's so bad. Move on. That's what's causing it. And now it is to the point that we are now scared because I saw they just raped 2 girls now. About 7 of them raped 2 girls that were set up. These 2 girls were set up by their own friend. They were taking a gift to a cousin. This I just saw today before this call. And now people are shouting and shouting and shouting. I'm like, in the midst of this shouting, what has happened to those guys right now as we speak? They're still shouting. So, hey.
Oh my gosh. You know why this is sad for me? Because the power is in our hands as the Nigerian youth. Because you know me and you, we live in America. But when Big Brother starts, the
Mm-hmm.
whole world,
Everywhere.
my American friends that don't even watch Nigerian stuff, they will come and show me why they fighting. Who is
Oh,
this? Then
yep.
I'll be like, who is it will trend. Why can't they use that power to change law, to change the God? They won't use that. What do you think is wrong with the Nigerian youth?
I think we have become numb. We have become numb to all of these things because we're used to it. It's been happening. People have been getting away with it. People have been living their lives through it. So we've become numb. And we have gotten to the point where we've become a society where we want more. We want to be fed. We want entertainment. Okay, how do you explain somebody violating a little girl and somebody is there recording to post, not trying to stop what is happening, but recording it so they can post. And then they post, and then everybody is making it viral by sending it here, sending it here, sending it here. Sometimes you can actually stop the act from happening, because people have argued before to say, if we hadn't made it viral, nothing would have happened. This girl's story would not have been heard. Then my question is, how many of those stories that we have heard, how many of them got justice? We are numb, Bouquis. Somebody dies, we'll cry for a day, and the next day we've moved on. We see a video of something happening, they are burning a woman alive in the market square because she stole what, Gary? And we see it. Hey, can you imagine? So you don't see what happened, we send it on our broadcast list. That's where it ends. So my issue is, we crave entertainment. We want to share things that will make us laugh and make us ha 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 ha. But when it gets to the point of sharing those important things or talking about those important things and
Changing
finding solutions,
policies. Yes.
as long as it's not happening to me or someone in my house, it doesn't concern me. It's not
Mm.
something that I want to talk about. It's not something that I want to do. And that's so painful. It is on us as a society. It's just heartbreaking, because when I say, there are some things I say, because you know me, my mouth, they put me for trouble. But my mouth, they put me for trouble because we keep failing ourselves every day. And I'm trying to teach my children right now to see life in a different way, to be able to speak up for things that are wrong, even if it doesn't concern them. But we have accepted who we are. We have accepted it. Look, right now everybody's coming and everybody's shouting. The thing that will pain me the most, if they prove me right, they will prove me right if they are actually doing this for the gram. Because now it's trendy to become an advocate. It's trendy to become an activist. It's trendy to go and be known as, I'm the one that's spearheading this. People will wear t-shirt, pack people, carry placard. After the some beat them 2 days, they'll go inside their house. It's done. Next. People will come, post. After they post that thing, finish. What next? Are you sitting with your local government chairman? Are you sitting with anybody that has the right to change policy? Are you sitting with people who can say, okay, let's do this together. Let's go as a group, or let's do a media coverage of this. Let's stand in front of this Senate building. Let's do this. Let's do something that will effect change. Or is it just come here and be posting? I got tired, Bouquis. I got tired because I didn't even know which one to post again. I had to think, and I said to myself, I need to preserve my sanity and structure what I am doing. What way can I add value to what's going on? In what way can I effect my own change, my own little way, without just forming, oh, we're all doing it. Let it not be that I didn't post. Oh, let them not say that I'm not supporting this. Oh, no, somebody sent me a message and says, Stella, oh, we're doing a video. We want to put our hand up and do video for all this rape thing that's happening. Please send your own video to me. I'm the one coordinating it. I said, as how? And they thought I was being rude. I'm like, how? Okay, I'll send a video of myself doing like this, and when a rapist sees me doing like this, he will stop raping. Please, let's find better solutions and better ways to curb this thing. If people see what the punishment is, and that is really bad, as bad as you can get life in prison without parole, maybe person go think am before him try am again. Say, omo, even if the neighbor catch me or somebody here say this, I do this, and they identify me, that's it, I've lost my life. Oh, and now for inside prison I go die. Maybe then things will start to happen. Yeah.
But how can we even change? Like you said, it's from the top. They said the legal age of marriage is 11 years old or something like that. So
Yep.
how do we want to change
Bouquis, if
the
we want to
bottom, the
change, we will
grassroots?
change. If we wanted to change, we would have changed. That thing that I did on Al Jazeera, where I was fighting Senator Yerima, now from that time, now we don't talk this matter. And I went on international TV to say, this is crap, this is wrong. All it took was for my country to support the notion, because then I embarrassed him publicly. He didn't like it, Bouquis, because I suffered the repercussion for my house and for my office for Abuja, but I didn't care. All we needed was for my country to support, was
Back
for
up.
the lawyers there to back it up. Since the international world was listening, we're talking Al Jazeera English, for goodness sake. But guess what? They destroy my name for media. People talk their rubbish. Everybody look me through away face. This one they seek attention. This one now she's living in past glory. This one, no, they get film work again. She should go and sit down. She's forming all this one so that they can notice her. What did I not hear? One day I sat down, I thought about my life, and I'm like, you come from a country to represent that country, to say this thing is wrong. You try to speak inside of your country, it's not working. You now go to a place where internationally there are people who are giving you a platform to speak to a broader audience so that something can be done. And the people that you are representing are the ones telling you, shut your mouth. It is not your business. What do you go do? I continue to speak in my own little way. But you see, when we say it starts with us as a society, because things like this, all it needs is support. Things like this, all we need is in the home. What are you teaching your children? All these men that do these things, they have families. I mean, most of them have wives, some of them have sisters, some of them have daughters, some of them have aunties. What are the women doing in the homes to make sure that the men in their lives are not the government that we're expecting to create these policies and all that? You see that thing where our mothers do decades ago, before some of us were born, tie wrapper, tie everything. So you are not coming near this place until you make sure that your colleagues in the Senate, they change this policy. You are not touching me today. We are not this. You will eat food or you will sleep, but forget anything that has to do with anything. You know what I mean? We cannot go to the other room until this is done. You see.
But then they'll go out and meet their girlfriends.
That's the thing I'm saying. If the girlfriends are part of that same society and the girlfriends say, no, this thing where they do, you know, good. Leave the small girls there. Look us, we get the big cherry here. Leave these ones, we never grow pumpkin. Leave them. If we, I say, a society can change when the society is
It
ready
takes
for
a village.
change.
Yeah.
Yes. That's why what's happening in America today that sparked off protests all over the world, they are ready. They're not backing down. This is like 2 weeks running plus. They're not backing down. Every corner. Now people are boycotting stuff and saying, black-owned businesses, support them. When you have your black dollar, you have more mouth to talk. You have more government. See, a lot of people are taking down all these statues, all the Confederate flags around the government houses and stuff like that. They are ready. But we come from a society where they do their own. I don't want to lose my daily bread. I beg, I don't want to make them call me join. Please, I know I don't like rape, but people don't join me in this matter. At the end of
Could
the
it
day.
be?
Go ahead.
No, could it be that is the fear of insecurity? You know how here you can be protected, but Niger you go just disappear and that's it. If you disappear, you know.
But there's no protection anywhere, because I've seen videos of protesters here that will be standing to protest, and you will see one truck or one police vehicle will come and clear all of them. Some people are tear gassed. Some people are shot at. Journalists are arrested. There's nobody that's safe. But the truth is, they decided, they made a choice, and they said, you know what? If this one will take our life, as long as we do what we have to do and make that impact, the world is now listening. The world is now supporting them. It will be stupid for us not to see changes, because already things are happening. Most of these cops are being arrested. They are being investigated. Things are changing. People are now being told that if you do not make sure that the diversity in your company increases, we will no longer support your business. Now they are begging Colin Kaepernick to come back. Changes will be made when a society is ready to say, screw it, man. We're done with this. We're all ready. And we all speak with one voice. That is the problem. So anybody that's afraid, I've been through mine. But you know what? I believed solidly in what I was fighting for. Okay, when we fight, we see say, I did an event, an all-girl event, my first Adiva event in Abuja. As the girls were leaving my event, one of them parked her car in front of her brother's place. Army men came, told her, why are you parked here? Oh, this is my brother's house. And I make you park this kind of fine cars, you find like this, come here. She's like, don't touch me, Joe. See slap. They beat this girl, Shaggy. Out of say she didn't respond to their call when they say, fine girl, come here. They beat her. She had bruises all over. And this girl is a notable TV presenter and a radio broadcaster. And I'm like, if they can do this to somebody that they see her face everywhere on billboards, doing adverts here and there, who would they not do it? I'm not gonna lie, that was the day I said to my husband that night, I said, you see these my two girls right here? Because of them, I can go to jail because I don't think anybody that touches them will survive it, neither will I. So instead, let me remove them from an environment where there's nobody or nothing that, no. And it was just, after that happened, nothing happened. Now, this same person is the one that's fighting for the rights of other people because she doesn't want it to happen to other people. But I'm asking myself, what are we thinking? What are we doing? We're so comfortable. We are chasing after the wrong things because everybody now fame and glam and money, money. But we can actually organize ourselves and say, you don't do. If we cut off some things from some people, trust me, they will sit up. If we sit down in front of the only local government chairman, who put them there? Who put them there? Desmond Elliott is one of them. He's our guy, he's our friend. There's nothing wrong in calling Desmond to say, Desmond, we need to talk. This your Surulere where you did. We need to do some things here. We have to put it into law. Say if they catch anybody touching any girl anyhow, let the message come to you first. Then you take it up with. How do we structure it? Do we put people in charge? Do we put vigilantes in charge? Do we put people that, okay, if they don't want to go to police, there are a number of people that you can reach out to. There are numbers you can call. There are places you can go and report, and these people come directly to you. And because you are high up in government, you can actually speak to those people that will listen to you so that justice is done. You carry the matter for your head in charge of Surulere. You go Isolo, do the same thing. You go here, do the same thing. Trust me. By the time you have strong influencers, the influence they take do for Instagram, they show bots and they show glam and fashion. That's influence.
Misplaced priorities. Yeah, misplaced priorities.
Well, I can talk this matter till tomorrow. Let me
Talk
just.
with it. What do you think should be done to a rapist?
Oh, life sentence. People are saying, oh, they should kill them, they should castrate them. No. Let them live the rest of their days looking at their lives, how they've wasted it. No parole, no bail, no nothing. Sentence them to life. In fact, give them 2 lifetime sentences. Because that's
so
the
if they come back
way.
Again, another life.
They will enter jail straight. Another life, they will enter jail straight. Oh. 2 lifetimes, yeah. So if they're thinking of reincarnation, come back. We're here for you.
The jail.
So, for me, it is important. For me, it is important because if you can prove that this person raped this person, as they record them, as they catch them, as they confess, I don't even think you even need to waste the court's time or taxpayers' money to be doing trial or investigation. Just package him, put there 2 lifetime, put him there, let him just go. Just as far as people are concerned, you are forgotten now. Is now left for you and your God. If you decide to change your life so you can make heaven from here, fine. Because from here, you're from go. So that's it.
Wow.
That's
2
it,
lifetime. Yeah. If you come back as they come like this, I'm going to the jail.
Oh.
When they don't take you as a bomb baby, new bomb baby.
They will just package you, say it's okay, we have space for you here. We didn't forget.
Wow. You said something, and I remember having a discussion with you. You said that they called you all sorts of names and they did all that stuff. I remember calling you one time and I told you someone said something about me. I don't know if you remember this conversation. And you were laughing. A long time ago, I said, someone said something about me and it's paining me, and you were laughing. The reason I want you to be that. You now say laughing at you never see. So how do you, because what we do here on this show is we practically equip people how to get over hurdles. Do you understand? Yeah. So I want you to tell someone listening now that's always in the line of fire. How do you keep your joy How do you manage to navigate all this negativity?
Identity, darling. When you know who you are, nobody can tell you who you are. I had to learn that the hard way. My father tried to teach me before he died, but I didn't know what he was saying. My father would tell you, if you don't know who you are, you won't know what you stand for. You won't know why you are here. So when the world starts to dish out names and be calling you names, you'll be answering anyone because you don't know which one is the real one. I had to find out who I was. And I had to appreciate and accept the fact that I was different. Because, you know, there's a difference between, a lot of people don't know this. I had to learn that there's a difference between being popular and being a celebrity. Being a celebrity means you are recognized for something that you do. You are interesting to people. It doesn't mean that people really like or accept you. But being popular means you are liked, you are accepted, you are favored. People love you. People want to, you know, that's why you're popular in their homes and all of that. And I was thinking, oh, I'm an actress. People should love me. People should accept me. I should be, you know, they call me household name. So I'm popular. No, I wasn't popular. I was just a celebrity because of the nature of my work. And that hurt me because I didn't realize that just being a celebrity without being liked and favored, you would receive a lot of those things. People will say all kinds of things about you because, like it or not, people have their favorites no matter what you do or say. People have their favorites. Some people will like you, some people will hate you no matter what you do. That is one thing everybody has to remember. No matter how good you think you are, no matter how kind or loving or nurturing you think you are, people will still see you and for no reason they will hate you. For no reason whatsoever. If you ask them, what did this person do to you? They can't answer. But they just don't like you. Some spirits don't gel. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But I've just realized that I don't have to conform. I don't have to be what people want me to be just so that I can impress them, for them to like me. I really don't give three monkeys. And that's one of the reasons people don't like me, because they think it's arrogance. I say it's not arrogance. It's because I know who I am. Because last man, no go fit save my life. When it comes down to it, money will not save my life. A lot of people are dying today. No matter how much they have, they will still die. They die. They die not go chill because you hold money for pocket. The only person that can save my life, Bouquis, is God. And as long as he has called me to be who I am, I know my identity in him, not an identity of, oh, my name is Stella Damasus, I'm an actress, I'm an entrepreneur. No. My real identity in the fact that I am a princess. Royal priesthood. That's who I am. God called me, created me specially, and he made me different. And if my God tells me don't conform, be yourself, who will like you will like you, who will not like you will not like you, who won't talk, make them talk. Does it move me? Does it change me? No. I used to be worried about, oh, my reputation. I spent my youth, my small age where I have to take the flex, and they work to build who I be. Now I don't build who I be. They don't tear them down. That's when my mother said to me, so you think that you came to this world to build reputation for people. That's what you think. So these people now tore that down and you are dying. That reputation you build is work. That is work and career. That can always be built up by the same God who gave you the talent. So why don't you realize that you have come to this earth to live your purpose? Your purpose is your reputation. Your purpose in the eyes of the kingdom is your reputation. Are you living in your purpose? Do you even know what it is? If you know what that purpose is, you know your reputation in Christ. That spiritual reputation, man, no fit bring them down. That is why when people hear the comeback story, no matter what they said and what they did, Bouquis, who's laughing now? See me now, everybody, Stella, I saw your fame. I saw between, oh, I even saw this one that they just released, the Cora. Oh, Stella, I love your inspiration. Before, I can't even post anything about my husband and I. If I post them, hey, fire. Now, I post about our anniversary, and I'm hearing, oh, power couple. Oh, I tap into your marriage. I tap into your anointing. Oh, Stella, I'm having problems in my home. Can you help me? And I'm like, this is not me. I didn't go to their homes to tell them, oh, those things you heard about me, they are lies, so please bring my reputation back. No, that wasn't me. That was all God. Because my reputation in his kingdom, no man can touch it. But when you build your reputation based on what the world expects of you and you want to impress the world, oh, I'm this, I'm that, the same world that you're impressing, they're the ones that will shut you down. So at the end of the day, what do you have? You better know who you are in Christ. You better know who you are. Anybody like that then talk, say, Stella, I don't preach. I really don't give three monkeys again. I believe what I believe because this is what has worked for me. Whenever people start to say all kinds of crap about you, remember that it's not what they say, it's who God says you are. It's your identity. And you have to know your identity. If you don't know your identity, they will crush you. But right now, if anybody they don't, husband snatcher, they don't call me. Public enemy, they don't call me. Oversabi, they don't call me. What did they call me? Said they're living in past glory. That somebody call me old, outdated, wanting. What did they never call me? But you know what, girl? I'm moving on. I'm growing, I'm doing better, my businesses are growing, things that I've been trying to do for ages, all of a sudden, in the middle of a crisis, God is just releasing them for me. That is not me, that is him. And that's because I know who I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Identity plays a major role, and a lot of people don't know. And like you said, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything.
Everything. Yeah.
And the world will project on you their expectation. And then another thing I want you to lend your voice to, let me see, I don't want us to, you know how some people, you have a dream in your heart, and then you take it to some people. And because they can't conceive themselves doing that, they project their own fear on you, like, don't do it, so you know, and all that stuff. Have you ever had a time that someone tried to distract you, you know, and then
every time, Bouquis, every time, till now, they are still. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. Let me give you an example quickly. Years ago, I was still doing studio work. I was doing backups for people, going for shows and everything. Somebody who was supposed to be my mentor, I went and I said, I'm thinking I should do a single, you know, just single. Let me just put it out there. I have this song in my heart, blah, blah, blah. The person looked at me and said, Stella, when it comes to studio work, jingles and backups and stuff, you are the best. You are amazing. There are very few people like you. But you are not strong enough to be in front. I don't think you can ever be a frontliner.
Wow.
I said, you say? It broke me, Bouquis, because this is coming from somebody who was supposed to be mentoring me. That's another thing. People have to be careful who they listen to, who gets into their ears.
Your ear gate.
Mentoring is not supposed to be crushing you. Mentor is supposed to motivate you to be your best. So this person crushed me. And for years, Bouquis, I was afraid. I refused to do anything. That was me. I continued doing my backup. We moved to America, and my husband said, we've written songs. You've been telling me the Holy Spirit said, do this now, even if it's one life that it will change. Do this album. This was in 2016. I told my husband, I said, I know we'll fit. That was the first time I actually told him why I was always running away from studio work. He forced me, said, look, studio is in our basement, Abby. Let's do it there. Don't worry, don't be afraid. He looked at me and he said, the Stella that I know is night and day. Between that Stella and this Stella in the studio, I was shaking. That thing affected me. I was shaking. I was afraid. It was by the grace of God that I finished that album. Until today, people are still sending me, thank you. This album means a lot. People are still, that's one of the songs you played. It's one of the songs from the album.
That's one of my best songs.
Imagine me crying in the studio saying, I can't do this. My husband said, you have the voice. God has blessed us with good songs, and he has told you it is time. What are you crying about? That thing broke me. That was when I realized that we have to be careful. People that we go and meet to say, oh, I have this idea. No. Have the idea, put it down, start working on it. Get to the point where you know that there's no turning back. Then identify those people that you know can help you to the next level. Don't just be, because you don't get idea, you're just prematurely feeling the need to discuss with every Tom, Dick, and Harry. No. It's not, because the vision that God gives you, he might not give the other person. So if he doesn't give the other person, there's no way the person can understand your vision. Sometimes it's out of jealousy. Why not this person every time? I have this idea to do this, I have this idea to do that. Idea not they finish. Me, one idea where I don't get, never work. You are getting 10 ideas. But I'm higher placed than you. I'm more intelligent than you. I'm prettier than you. How come you're the one succeeding with all these things? They will kill your dream. So you see that dream where God give you, work on it. That's why he gave it to you and not them. Work on it and get it to that point where you know, okay, this person can help me do this. This person can help me do that. And most of the time, I don't share I don't like people to see my process. I want you to see what I have done. If you're not contributing to that process, you don't have any business knowing. When it's done, it's done. People didn't know when we're filming Between. We shot Between in 2015, 5 years ago. People didn't know until we started putting it out there when it was time to do the premiere. We could have gone to people to ask for money, ask for help. Oh, help me post it, help me talk about it, help me push it. You will be my party. How many times I come to you to say, oh, Bouquis, I'm doing this film. I need you to start talking about it before it comes out. I didn't bother anybody. I didn't want anybody to know my process. My husband and I did what we had to do when it was time. Then people can see it. At that time, it's too late for you to kill my dream. That's it.
Wow. I said something a couple of days ago. I was shocked when I finally moved to America and I have colleagues that, they'll come and say, fill my stomach. I'm going to have a baby. 2 weeks. I'll be like, in Nigeria, you will cover it. Don't be doing like that. But, it's a strange community. But, I want you to talk about, that is interesting because I know you have a magazine, you have your in between. I watched that movie. I called you yesterday. I said, Stella, no, you guys need to check out the movie. Can you just talk about it? Talk about your magazine, talk about the movie and the album.
Yeah, so my magazine, I've been trying to do it since 2007. Can you imagine? I've been trying to do a magazine since, but it wasn't the right time. So things were not falling into place. People that I wanted to work with, they were not, giving me what I wanted. So I just left it and said, God, in your time, let it happen. Last year, we started working on it again, and I wasn't sure when I was going to release it. I just said, we're going to work on this thing. Whenever God says it's time, it will be time. You will be shocked to know that it's during this lockdown quarantine period on my birthday that it just came to me. He said, release this thing on your birthday. It's ready. It's good to go. And I kept saying, no, it's not good enough. I don't think. But God just said, release it on your birthday and let it be out there. Because, on the front cover, I have my children and I. This is the first time that I'm showing the world my children, and they have plenty of interview. So these are my kids. So they had their interviews, and this is the first time that people are going to see the world through their eyes. What they were going through when I was going through my madness, when the media was Stella, how were they seeing it? What was their experience? What was going on? And I felt it would be a powerful way to release this magazine, because the magazine is for women by women. Every columnist here is female. The creative designer, everything we're doing, they're all female. So it came and people loved it. I was shocked. People were even people were buying the online versions of it. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is good. And it encouraged a lot of people because it's not just a glam magazine. It's a social justice and lifestyle magazine. It's not a
Where can we get it? Where can we get it?
Adivanetworks.com. Adivanetworks.com. You can get online version. You can get print on demand to get a printed copy. And then for Between, we shot it in 2015. We set up our production company in Atlanta when we still lived in Atlanta. My husband said, look, we've set up our company. We're here in America. We've done small projects. Let's do our own first feature film. And we sat down with Rume, who works with us. And Rume was like, okay, what if we have a marriage counselor who's been working as a marriage counselor, but her life is a mess?
Don't give them the spoiler. Don't spoil it.
No spoiler. This is what we use for our teaser. Like, what if you meet a very good accredited marriage counselor whose own life is a mess? We see people like that every day. They can give you all the advice in the world, but when you look into their lives, you're like, what's going on here? So when she asked that question, Daniel was like, okay, with this question, I can build a story. So he built a story, and we pack all our life saving. Lively saving. So we decided to make this movie in 2015. We did the auditions, called everybody, our friends. So yeah, we want to use my house, your house. We use our clothes, use everything that we had. 2 days to production. The guy who was supposed to be cinematographer pulled out. Our Igbo friend. He pulled out. Why? Because we didn't want to work with a particular person that he has a contract with. That particular person had worked with us before on another project, but the way she treated some people and the artists, we didn't like it. We like people to be treated fairly and be happy when you come to work. So because of that, he pulled out 2 days before. My husband looked at me and said, my wife, I'm a cinematographer too. Do you trust me to handle this job? I said, go ahead. It's our money. If it's spoil, spoil. But with you, I know you can never spoil. He shot it himself, edited it himself. We did everything by ourselves. And we did a premiere in the UK, premiered it in Los Angeles as well. And we wanted to take it to our country. Politics started playing its own mago. And we said, look, sometimes you have to look yourself in the mirror and say, you know what, take your power back. We made this film for people to see it, because not everything be about money. There are ways to make money, fine. It would have been nice to make money with it because we spent our money, but it's our money. Nobody put gun on our neck to say, pay me back money for film. And we said, and see, here's the thing again, because whatever we do, we have to be mindful. God has to be, we have to be sensitive to the spirit. So see what happened, Bouquis. When this idea came and my husband was writing and we were doing the film, by the time we finished writing, we read the script and realized this film is actually a faith-based movie. But we didn't sell it as that because it's a normal love story, it's a normal story of, you know, drama and all of that, but it ended up becoming a faith-based movie. And as we're praying about it, and Holy Spirit just said to us that, look, this film is my film. It's not about you. It's not about money. It's not about fame. This film should glorify God and is glorifying God. So make it for me. So we made the film, did the premiere, and from our mind, we just thought we've made good content, great film. We should make money back from it. So let's sell it to XYZ. Let's make money. Let's make money. Unfortunately, the politics there blocked. But you know, I always say every disappointment is a blessing. They disappointed us so much. My husband said, it's time to take our power back. This same spirit is telling me, Shebi, I told you that this film belongs to God. Now you want to use it to do money and do this, do that. Give it back to the Holy Spirit. So we just kept it and folded our hands. When this pandemic struck, my husband woke up one morning and said to me, Stella, I just dreamed the Holy Spirit say, release the film to YouTube. 1 second, my heart felt cut.
It cut there. It cut.
When my thoughts of that money and how much, it just cutted a little. But I've learned one thing. Once my husband says, the Holy Spirit said, he doesn't talk anyhow. He doesn't say, oh, God told me. Once in a blue moon, once he says that, I have learned not to argue and just obey. Omo, when we released that film, Bouquis, it was like fire. I had never experienced that kind of thing before. This is me, where people they say, I never do film scenes. I never come out scenes. Stella is this, Stella is that, Stella like that. The film, boom, the next thing, people are calling me. I want you to do this for me. I want you to do that for me. Please, can we? In less than 3 weeks, we had over 1 million views.
Yeah.
We didn't pay for ad. People were just watching and spreading the word to their friends and families, and it was just spreading. And I'm like, look at God. Because if we had put it in all these other platforms that would just give us money that probably be not what we made it with, I don't know if we would have had up to 1 million people or 1 million plus people watching it. But he made us release it at a time where everybody was home and needed something to just distract them, and then something that will end up taking. I will show you a message that I received from a woman who was about to get a divorce. And she said to me, Stella, I saw your film. My husband and I saw your film. We had a change of heart. And for the first time, our other room was on fire. I said, come on. That's it.
Come on, my dear.
Now,
children, close your ears.
They have to close their ears. But, I mean, we received, so when I say testimonies, I say, hey, on top film, testimony enter matter. Okay, so this is what God wanted to do with the movie in the first place. So it wasn't ours to use to make money. So be it. So it's there on YouTube, and people are saying
that's the name of the movie. People are asking. It's between the movie. I pinned it. It's on YouTube. Go and watch it.
Yeah.
Thank me later. Oh my God, we have 1 minute. Stella, I love you so much, man. Thank you. You know that trip, we're going to make it. We have to. Listen, man, your magazine is on adivanetwork.com. Your movie is on YouTube. Go, guys, go watch it. Between the movie, it's not, the name is not Between the Movie. That's why people will be looking for Between the Movie. The name is Between.
Just like Between, put my name, Stella Damasus.
It's on YouTube. Between by Stella. You know, and your music, your album, if you want to download it,
it's on YouTube. Oh. It's free. Everything is free.
Okay,
it's right there.
What is the name of the album? 28 seconds. What's the name of the album?
The Alternative.
The Alternative is the name of the album. You guys go download it, watch the movie, and support Stella. Stella, I love you so much. God bless you for coming to BOUQUI'S Place. And your daughter is doing amazing. She was the valedictorian of her school. Congratulations. I love you, Stella. We'll continue to this one. Thank you guys for joining BOUQUI'S Place. See you tomorrow.